Roberto, tell me, what did you do back home?
Government work. I'm retired now.
He's found multiple dead bodies on that farm in Sicily. Did you kill him?
9 seconds. Do I look like a killer?
In this video, we delve into the thrilling world of a retired operative who finds himself drawn back into the dangerous underworld to seek justice for a personal tragedy. With a unique set of skills and a thirst for vengeance, he embarks on a mission that will test his limits and unravel a web of intrigue and conspiracy. Get ready for an action-packed ride as we explore the gripping third installment in this popular film series. Lorenzo Vitali, played by Bruno Bellotta, a mafia lord in Sicily, arrives in his vineyard with his grandson and discovers a slew of dead victims lying everywhere. He enters alone and discovers 3 of his guys seated with a gun to Robert McCall's, played by Denzel Washington, head. When Vitali asks McCall what he's doing there, he replies he's there for something they took that wasn't theirs. McCall gives them 9 seconds to stand down before killing the 3 goons and leaving Vitali crawling away. He pulls out a firearm and shoots Vitali in the head. The grandson notices McCall as he walks away with a bag, and McCall urges him to stay in the car. The youngster shoots McCall in the back and flees. McCall drives far enough until he passes out. He is discovered by an officer, Gio Bonucci played by Eugenio Mastrandrea, who takes him to his town's doctor, Enzo Orizio played by Remo Garone. Enzo instructs Gio to inform anyone who inquires that he'd brought a patient who had fallen down. After a few days, McCall awakens to find himself in the town of Altamonte. He befriends Enzo, who gives him a place to stay, and he befriends Gio and his daughter Gabby, played by D.A. Lanzaro. McCall begins visiting the neighborhood cafe and befriends one of the waitresses, Amina played by Gaia Scodolero. Later, McCall contacts the DIA and meets with Emma Collins, played by Dakota Fanning. He tells her about what he discovered at the vineyard in Sicily and advises her to look into it. Collins goes with her partner Frank Conroy, played by David Denman, and a team to find 11 million euros and a large stockpile of drugs. In Altamonte, a criminal named Marco Quaranta, played by Andrea Dodero, is antagonizing a fish vendor named Angelo, played by Daniele Peroni, over not giving him what he wants, then demands it the next time he shows up. Marco and his brother Vincent, played by Andrea Scarduzio, are the leaders of the Camorra, a mafia organization that terrorizes Altamonte. Marco pays Vincent a visit while he is dealing with a couple who refuse to hand up their building so Vincent can establish a hotel. He responds by throwing and hanging the wife's wheelchair-bound father from a window, then leaving his corpse for the other neighbors to view as a warning. McCall witnesses people fleeing at night as they hear a bell ring. Angelo's shop has been set on fire, and he and his wife can only stand back and watch everything burn. McCall watches Marco and his goons sitting back and watching proceedings, and he knows exactly who to pursue. Emma subsequently finds McCall in Altamonte and begins speaking with him about what they discovered at the vineyard, but McCall refuses to admit to anything. Gio receives a phone call informing him that Gabby has left school early, and when he inquires with her teacher, she responds that one of his officers has taken her. Gio returns home to find Gabby and his wife Chiara, played by Sonia Amar, being held captive by Marco and his goons, who then threaten Gio to keep out of their way. In an attempt to persuade Gio to buy boats from Somalis, Marco visits a restaurant where he is eating dinner with his family. Marco then observes McCall staring at him and approaches him. McCall makes it clear to him what will happen if he continues to threaten the family. Marco doesn't take him seriously, so he grabs Marco's wrist and compresses a nerve in his hand, causing him pain until he gets his thugs out of the restaurant. After that he lets him go. Outside, Marco plans to take revenge, but one of his goons is run over by a van, which already has a dead driver, another goon, killed by McCall. He murders Marco, severing his arm and stabbing him to death. Collins sees a news report of a terrorist attack in Rome, believed to be done by Syrian terrorists. Based on what she has learned from McCall, she doesn't believe this was the work of Syrians, even though it was their drugs found at the vineyard. She confides to Conroy that she believes this is part of a bigger plan. Following the killing of his brother, Vincent is visited by Chief Barella, played by Adolfo Margiotta. When Barella makes threats, Vincent stabs his hand and then has his goon chop off Barella's hand before bringing him to the hospital to have it reattached. Vincent then intends to exact vengeance. McCall calls Collins, informing her that it's the Camorra who caused the blast before she ends up caught near an explosion in the city as she attempts to go near her car, but she is alive and hospitalized. Vincent and his thugs travel to Altamonte and attack Gio, shooting a gun near his ear and threatening to kill him and his family until the killer of his brother appears. McCall appears and instructs Vincent to grab him and leave everyone else alone. Enzo fires his own rifle before Vincent can murder McCall. The residents then take out their phones and film the crooks, causing them to run before the cops come. Vincent returns to his base and begins making plans for the next day's attack on Altamonte. Unfortunately for them, McCall has discovered them first and is picking them off. When one of his thugs' blood drips on him from the ceiling, Vincent awakens. He tries to flee but is knocked out by McCall. When he awakens, he discovers that McCall has administered a deadly dose of the drugs discovered at the vineyard, giving him only a few minutes until his heart stops beating. Vincent tries to run into the street while McCall walks slowly behind him, and he is hit by a car. The crime boss stumbles a little further before succumbing to his injuries. McCall later pays a visit to Collins in the hospital. He explains to her that the real reason he traveled to Sicily was to recover pension money stolen by thieves from someone he knew. He abandons her with the bag of cash. Collins travels to Boston, where the person who McCall mentioned lives. He and his wife are overcome with emotion and gratitude after learning that their money has been retrieved. When Collins returns to work, she receives a little black book from McCall detailing all of his personal gatherings, along with a message that says, "Your mother would be so proud of you." Collins then examines a photograph on her desk, which reveals that she is Susan's daughter, McCall's late handler. McCall stays in Altamonte and joins them in celebrating the victory of their football team. Thank you for joining us on this journey through Equalizer 3. What do you think of the exciting premise and action-packed sequences? Have you seen any of the earlier movies in the series? Which character appealed to you the most? Let us know what you think in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more fun movie analyses.